So we are working on grants matrix project. Humanitarian and development teams usually need reliable view of open funding opportunities to plan proposals early, and also align programs with donor priorities and avoid missed deadlines. So now we need to build a complete verified grants matrix of currently open opportunities that NGOs and INGOs for specific country can apply for, so the team can quickly identify best fit grants and act upon. So the task for you is to create a complete list of currently open grants that NGOs and INGOs can apply for, including the official calling, deadlines, eligibility, funding amount, and sector of the theme. So to get started with this project, the solution, now you need to run a prompt. Specific prompt of this is to act as a grant researcher for NGOs and INGOs. I'll copy and paste it here. So act as a grant researcher for NGOs, INGOs. Find open currently accepting applications grant opportunities in Kenya, specifically focused on climate adaptation. So as you can see, we have already identified what we need, both the country specific and also the theme. So now is a climate adaptation. So including DRR, resilience, water security, climate smart agriculture. So return about 30 results, and you can make it more than that if you want. If you cannot open the website, scrape the content or the information. So let's not use the fast research, so we go and say deep research. And then you'll have to say generate or click this button here. So it will take a bit of time, so be patient. So now you have all your results on the left side. So if you look a bit deeper, you can see these red lines. When you see this red, that means NotebookLM was not able to bring that website here or the document. So for us to remove all, you can click the three dots and say remove all failed sources. So then it will remove all the failed sources from your source. Now the sources you have is how many? We have 41 sources currently that are in our notebook. Then you can also go a bit deeper to see the report it has already consolidated for you. Usually the first line or the first source is consolidated based on the deep research it has worked on it. So if you click the deep research report and you browse a bit, so the source guide usually it gives you the overview of that report and also the key themes. If you can remember, we talked about climate and funding opportunities, climate smart agriculture, water security resilience. So it has brought all the themes or the areas that we specifically put in the prompt. So if you want to go a bit deeper, you can go through the whole document, but let's move on and try to work on the objective. And the objective, if I remind you, was to build a complete verified grants matrix, meaning we need to create a table of all the open opportunities that NGOs and INGOs can apply for. So to quickly create that, we also need to run another prompt again. So for this specific prompt, there are two ways we can do. We can paste the prompt here, or maybe you can select as a grant researcher for NGOs, INGOs, find open the same one, and you can usually say, and create a table based on the extracted one. Or maybe the best option for us is, I think this is the correct prompt, to create a grant matrix for each opportunity. Return a table with the following information: grant name, donor, eligibility, Kenya coverage, thematic focus, funding amount, deadline, the link to the official call. So you can say it, go, and it will browse all the 41 sources and it will come back with a table. So let's do that. At the same time, while we are waiting for the response to come back, let's do the same one but using data table to generate also a specific spreadsheet table using the specific prompt. To use the same prompt, I'll click the edit here. So when you click the pen icon, then you can customize the data table. So as you can see, it says things to try, create a table with a major findings, it has all those details. I'll paste my prompt here and just say to focus on these columns. So I'll say generate, and voila. Let's wait, and yes, already we are getting back with the chart. It's creating a table, basically grant name, donor, eligibility, Kenya coverage, thematic focus, funding amount, deadline, and the link. So it cannot bring the link specifically into the chart. So you'll not have the hyperlink here. But anyway, it will come back with the funding name, the grant name, the donor name, eligibility, and if it's the Kenya coverage, yes. Basically, we have this table. So it excluded opportunities based on constraints. The ones that have constraints, we have removed it. And if you want to do, usually you will say that I'll copy the whole thing and paste it in an Excel or Word document to have this table. For now, we have already run and it has returned with a data table. You can click the data table. Let's expand here. Maybe you are not able to read it well, so what we can do is, let's say, export to sheets. Then it will take to a spreadsheet where we will be able to see the rows and columns clearly. All right, as you can see here, this has returned 11, and those are the donors, the eligibility, Kenya coverage. It has returned even the counts. So thematic focus, it also went deep a bit more on that. It's going one by one with the focus and a thematic focus. Then the funding amount, 20 million. The amounts in Swiss, I think, per project, not in source. There's some of the grants that they did not specify the amount. So some of it, if it will give you the link, basically because it's reading it from the documents, but it has shortened those links. The key requirements, alignment with the Kenya National Adaptation Plan. So now you'll check all the key requirements and notice to fit for adaptation programming. So it has given you more details on how to adapt your specific proposal for this grant. And the sources it's reading from, it's the sources we already have, and one of it is reading it from one source and the other one is reading from like source 2 and 3, so on and so forth. All right, so with that, now you have the two ways of comparing. With this, the table from here, you can also copy this table and paste it into Excel file. And specifically now we responded to the query of this specific project, and we created successfully a table that is showing open opportunities that NGOs and INGOs can apply database in Kenya for specific thematic area, and we have chosen climate adaptation for that case.